Mark Santiago here, and welcome to the Empowered AF podcast, where each episode we share powerful strategies to help you communicate, act, and lead like an empowered man. Thanks for joining me. So I wanted to pop in here and talk about the idea of leaning into the pain. Okay. Now, what's come to my attention, or what I've noticed is there seems to be a trend with some clients where around week 5 and 6, when we get into the hard shit, is when a lot of guys start to go, I'm going to check out emotionally. Because when we get into the healing stuff, this is where the gold really fucking lives. If you're not ready for it, it's okay. We can go slow, but the process is designed to bring emotions and feelings to the surface that you may not be comfortable with or accustomed to. And so, because of that, it's hard. What I find is that if you lean into that pain, and leaning into the pain looks like this: I'm hurting right now. I don't want to do this, but I know that if I do it, it will be better, and I'm going to do it. It's like if you get a cut and you have to put some peroxide on it, it hurts for a minute. It doesn't feel good for a minute. But if you do it, you know that you're going to cleanse that wound, and it now has a chance to be healed. And so I want to challenge you guys to lean into the fucking pain. Okay, you didn't invest in yourself. You didn't invest in our team to waste your time or my time or your money. You didn't do that. You came in here because you said, I want these results. And so it's up to you to do the work to get the results. If I want it more than you do, there's a problem. And let me tell you guys, I don't know if there's many people that want it more than I do, because I see every single one of you hurting. I see every single one of you going through shit, and you've never had another man care about you. Most of you in here have never really had another man care about you the way we care about you and the way we check in on you. It's not because it's our job. It's not because it's my business, but it's because I care about you and what you're going through. I have been where the majority of you have been. I have lived through the shit that you are living through. And I know how lonely and exhausting and fearful and all the things that you feel are. I know what that feels like. And so this process was designed to help you become that empowered man through the process. But it can't happen if you don't do the fucking work. If you don't show up, it can't happen. It's not a snap your fingers and all of a sudden you're healed, and all of a sudden you have your balls, and all of a sudden you know how to communicate, and all of a sudden you're a leader. No, it doesn't work that way. If you look at any star athlete, Tom Brady, LeBron James, Michael Jordan, I don't care who you like, the Wilson guy from Seattle, right? All of those guys put in the work. We see them on Sunday and they're like, wow, this guy's really a gifted athlete. No, it's not that he's a gifted athlete. It's that he's put in the thousands and thousands of hours it takes to become the kind of athlete that plays on Sunday. Now, we're not playing a game here. We're playing real fucking life. And if you don't put your shit together, if you don't put the work in, you're not going to get the result that you want. You're not going to be able to show up with your wife or your kids or whatever and be able to use a power triangle. You're just not. You're not going to be able to show up at your job or your business or whatever and be a leader because you didn't put in the work. So it's up to you. It's up to you. It's not up to me. It's not up to Chase. It's not up to Ian. It's not to anybody else in the program that helps in the program. It's not up to anybody else but you. You have to own your shit. You have to own the responsibility of what you do. Now, here's what that looks like. I want to be clear. I want to be absolutely clear on the process of this program. There's 4 things that you get in this program. Number 1, you get access to Coach Accountable. Okay. That's where we do the assignments. Some of you absolutely love it, and you're answering questions, and you're doing the worksheets, and you're doing the assignments, and you're handing stuff in on time, and you're doing all that. But then somewhere along the road, you kind of lose interest, if you will. You get bored, you get whatever, and you just check out emotionally. You can't do that. If you check out, you are checked out. And when you check out, you fail. You fail in the process. So the number one thing is we give you those assignments because we want to set the groundwork for what we do in our one-on-one meetings, in Voxer, and in the group. So the next thing we do is the one-on-one calls. Are you booking triage calls? Are you saying, hey, I need help. Hey, I'm not understanding the homework. That's why we have Voxer, to have that constant check-in. You should be checking in with us 2, 3, 4, 5 times a week. Like, there's no reason you can't. The only reason that you don't is because you go, well, I don't have anything wrong. That's not how it works. It's not about what's wrong. It's about, I have goals and I have things I'm working towards. And today I feel good, but I know I've got this thing coming up, or I know that I've got to lean into this, or this is where I'm lying to myself, or I don't feel empowered here. Can you guys help me? That's why we're here. That's why there's 2 of us, and we're adding more to the mix to make sure that you have full fucking support, because we don't want you to just go through a course. If I would have done that, it would have been some whatever course, and I wouldn't have gotten on the phone with you. We want to be connected to your journey. And the only way we can be connected to your journey is if you open the doors and say, here I am. I feel naked. I feel vulnerable, but I'm willing to do it. Listen, there's a connection to your lack of vulnerability and to what's going on with your wife. 100%, 99% can guarantee it, okay? And that's because as a man, you have to learn to be vulnerable. If you watched my Facebook Live I did in the other group earlier today about lying to yourself, we do that. We lie to ourselves to the point where we don't even know what we want, we don't know what we value, and we stay surface level. And we live in this surface because we don't want to go to the depths. Guys, you know, if you're going to be around me, you're either going to change or you're going to flee the change. It's not like I'm asking you to go run hundreds of miles and do crazy shit. I'm not punching you in the face, right? This is hard emotional work. And we told you that before you got in. This shit's going to be hard because what you're going through is the hardest fucking thing you will ever go through. And if you make it out the other side, whether your relationship makes that or not, doesn't matter. What matters is, are you going to make it out on the other side? Are you going to come out an empowered man, or are you going to come out an even bigger pussy than you were before? That's all it comes back to. That's really what it comes back to. What are you going to do? How are you going to become in that process? So we've got Coach Accountable that gives you the support you need. We've got a new system in place with feedback, and we're putting you guys in feedback loops to make sure you're getting more feedback on a regular basis. So look for that in the next coming week or so. So you're going to all be getting way more feedback than you were originally. We've worked that process into our system. Number 2, you can book a triage call whenever the fuck you want. Okay. Now, I'm not saying try to get on 20 calls a week. There's no need for that. But if you need one every other week, that's fine. That's why we have multiple coaches to be able to handle your calls. And we're all qualified and all very capable of helping you on your journey. Number 3, Voxer. Use Voxer. Fucking use Voxer. Check in with us. Don't ignore it. Put the damn put the alert on your phone, because I am checking in. Chase is checking in. We want to know what's going on. We want to know what your empowerment is like. We want to know where you're lying to yourself. We want to know those things because that's the intimate, deeper part of the program that makes it tick. Now, look, you could come in and like just learn some information and go on to your way, or you can actually engage with a process and get way more value out of it than you thought was even possible. That's my goal for you. And number 4 is this group. And we're ramping up some things to get this group even better. But if you've been missing the Monday calls, you are seriously missing out. We have way more guys that are on it now. It's way more engaging. And the guys that are showing up are hungry. They're newer to the program. They want to know stuff. They want to understand these things. Don't let them beat you out, those of you that have been around for a while. And what I mean by that is don't let their hunger outlast your hunger. You know me. You've been around. You know how I push you. Don't let them get more results out of this program than you are, because you're sitting back going, well, I don't really get anything out. You're not really doing anything. You've got to engage in the process. This isn't aimed at any one person. This isn't aimed at multiple people. This is an overall feeling that I've noticed, or an overall attitude I've noticed from some people. It's not everyone, and it's not one person, but it's something that we want to combat constantly, right? Because we're talking about life transformation. And when you talk about life transformation, shit is hard, and you're going to resist. You're going to go into that lizard brain that wants to resist the actual transformative parts of what we're doing. So guys, my encouragement to you today, lean into the pain. When you aren't sure if this exercise makes any sense to you, or you don't know what to do with it, or it doesn't really seem to be clicking, reach out on Voxer. Hey man, I just did this exercise and it seemed like it was weird. It didn't seem like it applied, or I didn't really get it. That's okay. Like, there's nothing wrong with you to admit that you didn't understand something. I would much rather you tell me that than disappear for 2 or 3 weeks. And now I'm sitting there hitting you on Voxer. Hey man, where you at? Where you at? Where you at? What's going on? And you're like, well, I just didn't do this, or I didn't understand that, or like, that happens. And it's okay. It's not nothing wrong with you not understanding a thing or not getting where the impact is. But what we want to do is make sure that we're reaching out, saying, hey, I need help. Because at the end of the day, no one's going to be able to say, well, they didn't give me support. Bullshit. Because that's on you. We give plenty of support. We have 4 different areas to support you, but you've got to choose if you want to engage in that process with us. You know what it comes back to is trust. That's all it is. Trust. Men inherently don't trust other men with their hearts. They don't like feeling vulnerable with other men. It makes them feel weak, makes them feel like little boys, makes them feel feminine or girly or whatever. Fact of the matter is, put that shit aside and realize that it's going to take some hard tears. It's going to take crocodile tears. It's going to take some hard shit for you to get to a place and you realize, well, damn, I need these guys. I need other men in my life to speak into my life. I need other men around me to help me. And when you trust that, when you finally engage and give yourself to them, I'm telling you guys, it's one of the greatest feelings ever. One of the greatest feelings ever to be vulnerable with another man and not feel like you have to be something fake. There's too much of that fake bullshit out there. You see the ads, you see all these rah men in their Tesla or whatever the fuck they drive and all this stuff. And it's like, dude, there's a vulnerability that will heal your masculinity. Vulnerability will heal your masculinity. That's the only way. It's the only fucking way. And that comes through humility. So it's literally humility that leads to vulnerability that leads to healing. I'll say it again. Humility that leads to vulnerability that leads to healing. That's the path we're on. So guys, stay humble, stay hungry, stay in the fight, stay in the game, no matter how hard it gets, no matter what's going on. Don't let this shit get you down. Stay in the fight, lean into the pain. If you got questions, comment. If you got questions, hit me on Voxer. Love you guys. Hey, if what you heard today really resonated with you and you want to connect with me, then here's what I want you to do. Pull out your phone right now and go to empoweredman.co/group. That's empoweredman.co, not com.co/group. So you can join our free Facebook group and connect with me there. We also have a ton of free content and trainings in that group to help you when you join. So until then, this is Mark signing off on Empowered AF.